Hello and welcome to your channel AWS Cloud Bytes. I'm your host Bhavesh Kumar. If you like these videos, please like, share, subscribe and click the notification bell icon for future updates. Your comments are welcome for making these interactions better. There is a delay in relaying these events due to my stretched schedule. Hopefully next year you will hear them within a couple of days of release from AWS. Let's look at the first news. Amazon File Cache is now generally available. Amazon File Cache is a fully managed, scalable and high-speed cache on AWS for processing file data stored in disparate locations, including on-premises. It accelerates, simplifies cloud bursting and hybrid workflows. It takes a few minutes to create and link file cache to multiple on-prem NFS, cloud file systems, and Amazon S3 buckets. Datasets from these various locations appear to client in a single unified namespace. File cache automatically loads on-prem and cloud data into cache when the data is accessed for the first time. File cache enables you to start running your workloads without requiring a full set of data to be copied. Amazon File Cache is designed to deliver consistent sub-millisecond latency up to hundreds of GBs of throughput and up to millions of operations per second. There is a picture of Amazon File Cache on the top of the slide. You'll see there is a create action and there is Amazon FSx, Amazon S3, and you have on-prem NFS, and then you have other available services that can be integrated through this. Pretty neat feature or service, I would say, added by Amazon. Moving on to the next news. Amazon CloudWatch third-party integrations for Wisdom, Task, and Customer Profiles. Amazon Connect now publishes metrics for third-party integrations for Wisdom, Task, and Customer Profiles to Amazon CloudWatch. It enables Amazon Connect customers to ingest data and/or automate task creation from third-party SaaS applications such as Zendesk, Salesforce, or ServiceNow. You can now collect, view, and analyze operational and utilization metrics such as number and size of documents ingested by Wisdom from a third-party application like Zendesk. This feature is available out of the box and no coding is required to access data through CloudWatch. You can see a picture of CloudWatch on top of this slide. You have Amazon CloudWatch that does collection, monitoring, action, and analysis of data. Moving on to next news. AWS Systems Manager add CloudWatch Alarms to control tasks. AWS Systems Manager add CloudWatch Alarms to control tasks. Now you can choose to stop a task or an action in Systems Manager service when a CloudWatch alarm is activated. This allows you to use the broad range of monitoring metrics supported by a CloudWatch to control tasks. If the specified CloudWatch alarm is activated during a task, automation will stop the task, run command will cancel the commands, State Manager and maintenance window will skip dispatch. This feature is available at no additional cost in all commercial and AWS GovCloud US regions except a few. You can see a picture of AWS Systems Manager on top for reference. Moving on to next news. AWS X-Ray launches support for tracing PHP applications. AWS X-Ray adds support for tracing end-to-end requests in PHP applications via the AWS distro for OpenTelemetry ADOT in public preview. ADOT is a secure AWS-supported distribution of the OpenTelemetry project. You can now use the OpenTelemetry PHP SDK to instrument your PHP applications for tracing with X-Ray. Customers can now use the AWS-supported OpenTelemetry components necessary to export trace data to AWS X-Ray, such as the X-Ray ID generator, X-Ray propagator, and resource detectors for Amazon ECS, Amazon EKS, Amazon EC2, and AWS Lambda services. Customers can now use the AWS SDK for PHP to trace requests made to the AWS SDK without the need to manually record each request. By using ADOT, applications can be easily configured to export traces to AWS X-Ray. You can see a picture of AWS X-Ray on the top of this slide. You can see how it collects traces, record traces, and provides a visual service map. It can also allow you to do the analysis around that tracing. Moving on to the next news. AWS Cloud Control API now supports AWS PrivateLink. AWS Cloud Control API is a set of application programming interfaces that makes it easy for developers and partners to manage the lifecycle of AWS and third-party services. Cloud Control API provides 5 operations for developers to create, read, update, delete, and list CRUD-L their cloud infrastructure. AWS Cloud Control API now supports AWS PrivateLink, providing access to customers to leverage AWS Cloud Control API through their VPC endpoints within their VPN. You can now manage their cloud infra in a consistent manner and use the latest AWS capabilities faster using Cloud Control API's common application programming interfaces using private IP within their VPC. We can use Cloud Control APIs without having to use public IPs, firewalls, or an internet gateway. Moving on to next news. AWS announces Amazon Workspace Core. Amazon Workspaces Core provides cloud-based, fully managed VDI accessible to third-party VDI management solutions. Amazon Workspaces Core is a new, fully managed virtual desktop infrastructure service that combines the security, global reliability, and cost efficiency of AWS with existing VDI management solutions. Workspace Core removes the need of capacity planning or infrastructure refreshing and simplifies the provision, deployment, and management of VDI environments. With Workspaces Core, you can migrate on-prem VDI solutions to AWS or deploy in a hybrid environment spanning on-prem resources and Workspace core infrastructure. Manage your entire user base from a single console without disrupting end users or retraining your IT staff. Moving on to next news. BottleRocket is now supported by Amazon Inspector. BottleRocket is a Linux-based operating system that is purpose-built to run container workloads, is now integrated with Amazon Inspector. Customers that have Inspector EC2 scanning already enabled do not need to take any additional action. If Amazon Inspector discovers a vulnerability, it will recommend an update to the version of BottleRocket that fixes that vulnerability. Amazon Inspector is a vulnerability management service that scans EC2 and container workloads for software vulnerabilities and unintended network exposure. Amazon Inspector leverages the AWS Systems Manager agent to scan for vulnerabilities. In BottleRocket host, the SSM agent runs within the control host container, so you need to make sure it is enabled in your hosts. Moving on to next news. Announcing unique place IDs for Amazon Location Service. Amazon Location Service now enables developers to retrieve known geographical locations using a unique identifier. Developers can now use the new Get Place API with the unique place ID to retrieve the details of the end user's selected location. The Get Place API can be used to retrieve latitude and longitude coordinates of the location and get route drive using the Amazon Location Route Calculator. Developers can identify unique places, filter search categories, and present relevant end-user search result on a map. Amazon Location Service is a location-based service that helps developers easily and securely add maps, point of interest, geocoding, routing, tracking, and geofencing to their application without compromising on data quality, user privacy, or cost. With Amazon Location Service, you retain control of your location data, protecting your privacy and reducing enterprise security risk. Amazon Location Service provides a consistent API across high-quality location-based service data providers, ESRI, and HERE, all managed through one AWS console. This is the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like, share, subscribe, and press the notification bell icon for future updates. This is your host Bhavesh Kumar signing off. Thank you.